Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council.
Good Wednesday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. Mostly sunny to partly sunny today. The high 85 to 90, a north wind 5 to 10. Mostly clear overnight, 65 to 70 for the low. Thursday, mostly sunny around 90. And it looks like Friday's going to be around 90 with partly to mostly sunny skies. Maybe some showers and thunderstorms by the weekend. Educate, entertain, and empower. We're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Catherine Drew. Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party has won a majority of seats in parliament, according to the country's electoral commission. However, the opposition MDC party are questioning the results of the first election since the departure of Robert Mugabe. Facebook says it has found and deleted several dozen accounts aimed at disrupting America's midterm elections. And a plane has crashed in Mexico's Durango state, with all 101 people surviving the impact.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, good morning to you on your Wednesday. Is the 1st of August, 2018. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is in the studio with you. I am joined by Quabila Jones, host of Community Conversations, and as always, on the first Wednesday of each month, we have Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott joining us in the studio, and he has brought a special guest with him, Mrs. Heather Bunkley-Allen, who is with the My Healthy Jonesboro Coalition. So we definitely thank both of our guests for joining us today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be here. A beautiful day.
All right, so we're going to get started talking about a program or event that is coming up concerning Safe Rider Saturday. So please tell us more about this event and how it came to be.
Okay. Safe Rider Saturday is happening August 11th, and it will be from 10 a.m. to noon at the Fisher Street United Methodist Church parking lot. And it is an opportunity for the community to come out and participate in basically a little bit of classroom education, if you will, regarding the safe and legal ways to ride on the roads, but also mostly safety practices that you can take to help make yourself safer as a bicyclist in the community.
Okay, so what brought about the need to have an event like this? I know we have seen stories of bicycle accidents here in town, but I know there's a bigger story behind this.
Well, first of all, yes, we have seen some stories of some accidents here in town, and that is tragic, first of all. Secondly, it is preventable if people know to watch, and that's both bicyclists as well as vehicle drivers on the roads. And so we in the bicycling community here in Jonesboro, which is actually bigger than most people think, we're very concerned about how we can help spread the word about safety and safe riding. And that's kind of what was the genesis of this event, although we had been talking about getting a rider education in the school system, and we're going to be piloting that with Nettleton schools this fall and in the spring as well.
I remember several years ago, I volunteered for an organization that used to distribute bike helmets to students at elementary schools, and due to funding and other issues, that program faded out. I would love to see that come back as well.
We're actually working on hopefully securing some funding to be able to do some helmet giveaways, both at this event or at events in the future as well. And we're looking at several different sources of funding right now.
Okay. And so what are the age groups? So give us some more details about what do people need to bring when they come to this event?
For Safe Rider Saturday, probably the expectation is that most people are coming that have a bike or that ride a bike. But we're happy to have people that don't, that are willing to come and learn more about, because it affects everyone. Anyone that's walking, driving, or riding on the roads, to understand the bicycling safety laws and to understand how to be safer around cyclists and pedestrians. But basically, we are doing information sessions and education work with, we've got groups targeted towards kids, towards teens, and towards adults. So it's all ages are welcome.
Oh, wow. All right. So, and what time does the event start?
It starts at 10 a.m. and it'll go till noon. And it's put on by My Healthy Jonesboro Coalition and the Northeast Arkansas Bicycle Coalition.
Okay, so we definitely have you all, My Healthy Jonesboro, back again to discuss more details about your organization. But again, for those of you that are interested, go out Saturday, August 11th from 10 until noon, and it's at Fisher Street.
Fisher Street United Methodist Church and the adjacent parking lots.
Okay, and learn about some bicycle safety, and then some of the legal, I don't want to say terms.
Just safe and legal cycling.
Okay, safe and legal cycling. What do you hope that people will walk away from this event? What information or knowledge?
The biggest, most important things are how to keep themselves safe and to be aware of their surroundings. So I hope people walk away understanding that it's very smart to wear a helmet.
Okay.
And we should try to have everyone in helmets that are on bicycles or scooters, anyone, adults, kids, anything. And then just to make themselves visible and to follow the rules of the road for both cyclists and drivers.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much for sharing that information with us today. Chief, did you have anything to add to
No, this is a great project that's coming up, and again, we just want to reach out to anybody in town that's interested in this. We would love for them to come out on Saturday, August 11th from 10 to noon at the Fisher Street Church. I think this is a great program, and education is the key here. Again, we're just trying to educate the cyclists and, more important, motorists that the cyclists do have rights when they're on the roads in our city, and a lot of motorists are not following the laws in regards to that, and therefore sometimes cyclists have to take evasive action to avoid being run over. And that's unfortunate because there is a large cycling community in Jonesboro, and it's a growing sport.
Okay.
So it's going to continue to grow, and we just need to learn to share the road and be kind, considerate, and not in a hurry when you're traveling on the streets.
Okay.
And of course, we stress that every day. It's when you get in a hurry, then we have accidents.
Yes, sir. Concerning the cycling club, are you all taking new members, or how does it work? How can someone join?
Anyone can join Northeast Arkansas Bicycle Coalition. It's basically a group of cyclists here that advocate for safer cycling, more education, and more awareness. And then there are several riding groups around town that are free to all members.
Okay.
But the other thing, too, about cycling in Jonesboro and anywhere really is that it's not just for recreation and physical activity. I mean, that's a very good reason for it. It gets families out on the roads together, and it's a healthy thing to do. But many people use it for transportation, to school, to work, and it's a very important part of transportation, and it's helping people understand that cyclists are out for a variety of reasons. It's not just to be in the way.
Yes, most definitely. We have heard of some tragic stories. Several years ago, a gentleman was killed riding his bicycle down KAIT Road, and just recently there were several teenagers who were injured severely. One that I know personally, he's finally made it home.
Quentin Tate, yeah.
Yes, and so, but he has still a long road ahead of him due to the injuries he sustained, the surgeries he had to endure. So, yes, we need everyone to be on the lookout for everyone else on the road. So
you're actually very, very right. Actually, Jason McDonald, the gentleman that you mentioned, his wife has been instrumental in pushing for more safe riding in Jonesboro, and she has helped to push his memorial ride into an event that is about bringing the community out to the parks and to getting them out. She, after some of the earlier accidents this summer, including Quentin's accident, she was very upset about how can we get helmets on people. So she's been very involved in this. But yes, you're right. We've had several unfortunate accidents. Fortunately, no one has been killed this summer because of it, but we've had more, seems like we're just aware of that many more run-ins that have happened this summer.
Okay. Now, Chief, on the police side of things, when those accidents occur, how do you charge? Do you charge individual? Like, how do you go about determining, I guess, who's in the wrong or?
Well, I mean, every situation is different. Each accident's investigated, but if you have a cyclist that just ran out and into the flow of traffic and got hit, it is what it is. It's an accident. So, the vehicle operator is not going to be charged.
Okay.
I mean, they're going down the road and somebody runs in your path, whether you're on a bicycle or a car, that person that's ran in front of them is at fault.
Okay.
So cyclists have the same responsibilities as motorists as far as laws and right-of-ways and traffic flow and traffic signs and things like that. So they're not, immune from the rules of the road.
Okay. Now, has this created more conversation? I know that, I'm sorry, what was her name again?
Oh, Amy McDonald?
I saw where she spoke at a city council meeting concerning sidewalks and other safety issues. So has this created more and more dialogue among all parties involved to really look at the city, like take a microscopic look at the city?
Well, I think the city itself is taking a microscopic look at itself, and there's always groups, and we're always looking at Jonesboro for the future.
Okay.
When you're running a city, you just don't live year to year. You've got to plan 20 years out and have 20 and 30-year plans, and so you take the dreams and hopes where you want your city to be in 10 years and 20 years, 30 years, and our infrastructure. The city has grown, and our infrastructure has not been able to keep up. So due to funding, there are certain projects the city can get done, and there are certain projects that can't get done on the current money that we have available. So that's why the city reaches out for grants and things like that to offset the expenses of some of these projects. Like the Greenway Trail that's in place, that's grant funded. We did have some sidewalk grant funding.
Okay.
The trails out at Craighead Forest, those are grant funding. So the grants department for any city is very and very important, because the city cannot sustain itself just on sales tax alone. So it takes grants to help the city keep running. And the police department itself, we depend on federal grants to keep our operations going. So we receive several grants a year for our operations.
Speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Heather Bunkley-Allen of the My Healthy Jonesboro Coalition.
Did you have anything you'd like
No,
to add?
I'm just, for those who tune in, just let them know who our guests are.
Okay. Do we have any Facebook comments or shout outs yet?
Well, shout out to Chelsea Chapman, who is checking in, and so Melissa Tomley Elliott and Betty J. Rousey, I'm sorry.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right. All right, so I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I saw a post where some officers helped several kids out with shoes for back to school. So
We did. This past Saturday, we had an event we called Shields for Shoes, and it was a concept that I came up with. Actually, I heard about a year or so ago from another agency, and the concept is, this time of year we have several back-to-school projects and events where people solicit school supplies for kids. And we have Stuff the Bus and different things like that going on. And generally, there's probably enough school supplies to take care of the kids' needs throughout the school. But what's just as important to some of these kids is, new set of clothes, new pair of shoes. Mm-hmm. And so we partnered with Academy Sports this year, and they provided $100 gift certificates, and we reached out to the Nettleton school district counselors and the Jonesboro school district counselors, and they selected some kids, and then we met at 9 o'clock on Saturday, and the kids and officers and members of our Citizen Police Academy alumni, we paired up and went shopping, and the kids got pick out shoes and clothing to prepare themselves for back to school. So we kind of got started midsummer on this project, so we think it's a huge success. Obviously, we're going to build on this every year. This is going to be a yearly project, and so we'd like to have, be able to meet the needs of more kids next year. But like I said, something a little bit different for the kids. It's kind of goes along the same line with Shop with a Cop that we do every year, but just building bridges with the community and the children. That law enforcement, we're here to help you day in and day out. So if we can do something to make a child's experience going back to school a little more memorable and pleasurable, then we're glad to have done it.
And I believe that Jonesboro Police Department will be at the Community Back to School Bash this Saturday at Parker Park, being put on by the Black Professionals Network in conjunction with several organizations throughout the community.
Right.
I know that someone from your department will be doing fingerprinting for the kids. They're not taking photo IDs. I know they're doing fingerprinting, and I don't know what else along with that, but can you explain why maybe it's important? No, not maybe. Why it's important?
It is important. Yeah.
To have something on file, fingerprints especially.
Yeah, it's sometimes you hear stories of unlawful abduction of a child, and fingerprints are an identifier that never change on a person. As you're developing in the womb, you have fingerprints, and that set of fingerprints will be there from now to the day you die, and it's a unique set of prints. There's nobody else in the world that has a set of fingerprints that are like yours. So it's a unique identifier, and if something does happen and somebody does come up missing, then that's one of those things that we can have on file. So if the person is found, we can make the match. But also, just as important is having current photographs and current information on your records. And these records are handed back to the parents for them to secure. We're not taking the data and storing it or putting it anywhere. So all the information is collected. We hope the parents just put it up somewhere, and in case there is a awful event that takes place with their child, then they can give that information to the police and help us out in our investigation.
So will you do the old school ink and print, or would you be using your newer system?
No, it'd be old school ink and print.
Okay.
You get in a field like that, with our new live scan system, it takes a computer and a big printer. So
I understand.
But so it's old school.
I think the kids will enjoy that as well, though. Actually dipping their finger in the ink and.
Well, they do, and it makes a little mess, but again, it's an important piece of record to have.
Does the police department offer I want to say kits, and correct me, but where a parent can take a picture? Mm-hmm. It looks kind of like an ID card.
Yeah, we have. It's like a little folder, and you can open it up, and sometimes we're actually putting the prints on this card, and then you take a picture of your child and glue it to it or tape it to it, and then fill out the rest of the information. So everything is actually in one folder that the parent puts away and hangs on to.
I would like to really encourage everyone to take advantage of that, and not just for the case of a child comes up missing. What if we have a natural disaster?
Sure.
We had some flooding recently. We've had ice storms. We've seen our fair share of things here in Jonesboro. So for that just in case moment,
absolutely.
You may become separated from your family. Anything can happen. So we don't like to think about what could happen, but if we're not prepared, then we're kind of stuck, and we don't want to get in that situation.
Yeah, I encourage everybody, don't put your head in the sand and think that the world's a great place and nothing's going to happen to you. So you need to, just be prepared. You don't have to stress over it, but just do your part and be prepared. And hopefully, again, nothing will ever happen. For the most part, things don't, but every now and then, unfortunately, it does. And, we don't want to be struggling then to trying to find the information that we need.
Yes, sir. I'm taking sociology of disaster this summer, and I must say it has really opened my eyes to concepts that, not that I didn't know anything about them, I just didn't think much about them before now.
Right.
So hopefully in the future I can partner with other first responders and emergency services and really help the community put plans in action, be more proactive versus reactive.
Right.
All right.
We are once again speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Mrs. Heather Bunkley-Allen, who joins us from the My Healthy Jonesboro Coalition. Of course, if you have a question for either of our guests, you can give us a call at 870-277-1080, or you can leave your questions and your comments on our Facebook Live feed.
So, Ms. Heather, before we go to break, would you like to share some more details about what My Healthy Jonesboro is for those that may have never heard of you all before?
Sure, absolutely. We are a coalition of community members that represents businesses in town, schools, the university, a variety of people.
Okay.
And we came together just under 2 years ago through a grant with the Cooperative Extension Service and the CDC. Basically to look at how we improve access for our community to healthy foods and healthy physical fitness.
Okay.
That's kind of the general, and then we've ended up growing into a lot more things that we get involved with. So we've done some grant writing for the community. We've done grant writing for bicycle racks to be put in last year. This year we're currently in the process of supporting grants for water fountains that are going to be going in, and bottle filling stations at Allen Park, Joe Mack Campbell, and Craighead Forest Park.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, citizens, residents of Jonesboro, be on the lookout for all those wonderful things coming up. And I know Dr. Bill Smith, from Arkansas State University has been very instrumental in pushing bicycle safety as well. So
absolutely, he's actually on the coalition, and then he's also involved with Northeast Arkansas Bicycle Coalition as well.
And so I just want to also say to everyone, if you ever see any surveys on Facebook, take time and take those surveys, because that information is very vital when it comes to securing grants or funding for other projects. So
that's actually one thing I was going to say.
Okay.
And with that, we get ready to go to a break. Joining us is Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Mrs. Heather Bunkley-Allen of the My Healthy Jonesboro Coalition. Going to get ready to go into a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back. It's KLEK on 2.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Are you equipped to handle your child's frenemies? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. In the midst of gaining friendships, your child may also find some frenemies along the way. A frenemy is someone who says they're your friend, but who routinely does things to hurt your feelings or stir up trouble. Disentangling your child from the tentacles of a hurtful friend may require a bit of maneuvering on your part. Here are 2 ways to handle your child's frenemy. First, help your child understand the reason this friend is not treating them well. Explain how they may bring your child down in order to feel better about themselves. Second, point out what a genuine friendship looks like so your child can learn which friends they should invest in. Remember, your family first.
For more resources on today's topic, go to markmerrill.com.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Stark's Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Road. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
The Black Professionals Network of Jonesboro was incorporated January 2013 with the mission of creating networking opportunities and to create community presence in the Jonesboro area. BPN is a diverse group of professionals established to make Jonesboro an ideal place for people of color and operates under the 4 pillars of Live, Learn, Lead, and Link. BPN meets the third Thursday of every month. More info, Black Professionals Network on Facebook and bpnjonesboro.org.
KLEK 102.5 FM is giving you more praise. That's right, KLEK brings to you All Gospel Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, enjoy all of your favorite gospel hits and get your praise on all day long. Plus, the return of the KLEK Praise Break. Lift up your hands, rejoice, and praise Him all day, all Wednesday, every Wednesday, on KLEK 102.5 FM.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
Did you know that KLEK 102.5 FM is a non-profit organization? Did you know that you can donate to KLEK 102.5 FM and your donation is tax deductible? Donations to non-profit organizations such as KLEK can reduce the amount of taxes you may owe the IRS or increase the amount of any potential tax refund. Support your KLEK today. You can donate by calling 870-277-1080, visiting our studio at 1411 Franklin Street in Jonesboro, or on our website www.klekfm.org. We at KLEK 102.5 FM are blessed and grateful for your support.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with our guests, Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Mrs. Heather Bunkley-Allen of the My Healthy Jonesboro Coalition.
All right, so as always, we have the good with the bad topics. So don't want to bring the mood down too much, but I mean that's why you're here, to talk about those hard things.
Sure.
So, as we know, several stories have been circulating in the news, and I don't want to go into too much detail about the particulars of the stories because they didn't happen here. But the basic concepts of them. The first one, the incident that happened in Florida, where a gentleman was killed at a gas station because he had an altercation with another gentleman, and he was shot and killed.
Right.
Okay, in Florida they have the stand your ground law. Currently, what is the law in Arkansas when it comes to one defending yourself?
Right.
And castle doctrine and things like that.
Basically, you have a right to defend yourself against serious threat of physical injury. So, if you're being attacked, then obviously you got a right to defend yourself. Now, the deal in Florida, when you look at the situation, you start out in a verbal altercation, and then the next thing you know, the guy gets pushed down and he pulls a gun and fires. Everything happened in just a few seconds, and then we sit back and we critique it for years. And what the prosecutors have to look at down there, did that person's actions that pulled the trigger, was that reasonable? The average person have done the same thing if they put in the situation. So that's kind of one of those deciding factors what the prosecutors look at. Did that person feel that he was in threat of imminent harm or danger?
Okay.
He's knocked to the ground. Could that guy get on top of him and cause other serious physical injury? Yeah, he could have. But again, I think every situation's a little bit different. But the bottom line is you do have a right to defend yourself, but you cannot be the aggressor.
Okay.
That's the key thing into this. You can't start a situation and then shoot somebody and say, well, they had it coming.
And I think that's what complicates it a little bit, because the guy that fired the shots is the one that initiated the altercation. It wasn't like the other guy was looking to pick a fight.
Right. That's kind of the part that's troubling for some, that he started out as the initial aggressor because he started the dialogue with an individual in the parking lot, and so that kind of compounds the situation in my eyes. But again, I don't know the whole story, the whole investigation, so I can say what little bit I've seen on TV and kind of throw my thoughts at it. But again, obviously the prosecutor and everybody that's involved in the investigation, has seen more than what the media's portrayed, put out there.
Okay. I just want to get your take on what the laws were for Arkansas, so that people don't feel like they can just go around defending themselves by any means. Well,
you can defend yourself. I mean, if you're being victimized, being attacked, you can defend yourself by any means, whether it's your hand, fist, knife, club, or whatever. Again, as long as you're not the aggressor and you're in self-defense. So. You've always had that right. Now, the laws changed recently. If you're on your property, you don't have to retreat anymore. The law's not expecting you to back away from the situation if you're on your own property. So that includes your front yard, your driveway, or whatever. So if you're on your property and somebody comes up and starts, to assault you or attack you, you don't have to run from it. You have a right to defend yourself. Now, ideally, on any situation, the prosecutor, everybody involved is, could you have retreated or backed away from the situation safely?
Okay.
So it's, if you can, if there's a potential situation and if you can retreat from it, get away from it, and, and that resolves the situation, then that's the better way to handle it instead of using some kind of weapon. There's, across this country, thousands of times every day, there are people that may be assaulted or try to be victimized some way or another, and the fact that a lot of folks now are carrying firearms, just the mere presenting a firearm to protect themselves without ever firing a shot has diffused more situations than people that's been actually shot. So we have a lot of concealed carry permit holders in the state and in the city, and it's growing daily because I've received the reports on the new carry, people that's been issued permits. So people don't want to be victimized, and not going to be victimized, and but again, as long as you're not the aggressor, then should not be a problem.
Do you foresee the laws, I hate to say changing, being adjusted for those that do own guns, with everyone either applying for a concealed carry, whether they take the gun out of the house, on a regular basis or not, everyone, and then also individuals going through some type of how-to class, how to operate. They're going to have to safely, go to. Do you feel that as an officer, and from your experience, what you've witnessed, do you feel that everyone should have a license, or everyone should go through some type of training before they even get the gun in their hand?
Well, I mean, a gun is obviously can be very lethal, and I'd hate for somebody just to go buy a gun and not be trained on it or have any experience with it or practice with it or anything else, because it's a liability in their hand. They're subject to prosecution, because once that bullet leaves the barrel, whatever it hits, you're responsible for. And if it hits an innocent person, then you could be facing criminal charges. So there is a huge liability in owning a gun. So if you're going to go that avenue, then yes, we encourage going through some kind of training class. If you're a concealed carry permit holder, you're going through a class anyway. So that's the thing about concealed carry permit holders. They do go through a class. They do learn the laws. They do know what they can do and they can't do. Okay. So that is actually a program that, I think it's a good thing that they're getting some kind of training, and they have to show some kind of proficiency with a firearm before they can get the permit. Okay. So, I encourage that more than just somebody that's never owned a gun go down and buy one and think that they're good to go. Okay. Because again, unless you practice with it, then you're not going to be proficient with it. Then every bullet is a potential liability and back against you.
Ready. There's been some other stories where some young children, teenagers, got a hold of some guns, and one of them was not a teenager; they were even younger, and they shot someone else.
Right.
So who would be charged in that case? The gun owner, or?
Well, again, when you have a gun in your house, you are responsible for that gun. So it's your duty to make sure the gun is safe and secure and out of the reach of people that shouldn't have the gun, such as your kids or your visiting kids, or so kids sometimes get nosy and go pilfering through drawers and closets and things like that. So put them in a safe and secure place. But more important, educate your children. Okay. Don't just buy the gun, put it up, but explain to them what the gun is and what it can do, and that if you see it, then leave it alone. If you see a gun anywhere, leave it alone, and then contact an adult. But there's all kinds of gun safety courses out there for adults and even for kids. And then of course you get in, there's different shooting leagues and things like that children can participate in. So it's if you're educated, then there's less likely for any kind of mishap.
Okay. So maybe parents or caregivers should take the mystery out of.
Absolutely. Versus
don't touch that, leave it alone.
Well, everybody today, you can tell them something, but you really got to explain and show them why. Yes. Yeah, we're at that point in time that just you saying don't do this is not good enough. So, sit down with them. Be responsible. I mean, if you had a swimming pool in your backyard, you have to be responsible and make sure it's safe and secure, that nobody can wander in, stumble in, and drown in your pool. So like I said, gun ownership is a huge responsibility. Take care of your weapon, secure your weapon. And kind of going back to another topic, if you leave a gun in your car, lock your car. Okay. And we had a bad rash of vehicle break-ins here recently, and people leaving their guns in unlocked cars. And now those guns are on the street. Now some officers have to face those guns from time to time.
Well, there was a case in Memphis where somebody had like 30 guns stolen from the vehicle while they was at the hotel.
Yeah. So, you don't want your gun used against you, so secure your car, and I don't want your gun used against one of my officers. So secure your gun, secure your vehicle, be a responsible gun owner, and shouldn't have any problems.
Now, you mentioned, Chief, about you get reports on when people get new concealed carry permits, and you said that the number is rising daily. Does that, I mean, I know that you said that you're glad that people have the ability to defend themselves, but does it ever give you pause or concern that something could go bad with more and more guns being out there in the city?
Well, you know, we assume that every incident we go on, there could be a potential for a gun involved. So we're always on, you know, high alert anytime we're dealing with anybody in the public, because there's always potential for guns. The country is a large gun culture country, so this is nothing new. It's just that we're at the point in time that you see things going on across the country, and you're getting citizens just feel that, you know, they're not going to be victimized, and you know, and so people, a lot of people have gone to concealed carry permits.
We got a Facebook shout out to Wes Montgomery, who says good morning.
Good morning, Wes.
All right, so there's another topic I wanted to talk about, and I've been really debating on how to even address it because it's a very hot topic. And again, not going into details of that story because again, it did not happen here. When officers are making an arrest and there are children present that are out of control, like,
well, I think what you're alluding to is, you know, whenever you have an incident and there's a child involved, you know, because children aren't as emotionally developed as adults, they may not understand what is going on around them. And I guess what you're trying to ask is, how do officers approach when you insert the variable of children into the equation? What tactics and procedures are employed to handle situations like that?
Yeah, sometimes you know, an arrest has to be made, and there may be children or minors present, and that's unfortunate. But you know, bottom line, it happens. Our goal is to effect the arrest and get that person removed from the situation, and as quickly as possible. Time to time, you know, especially you get into family situations, so you have a domestic situation, and we go in and may have to arrest the mom or the dad, and there's other family members present, and somebody's going to go to jail under the domestic violence laws. Well, the children don't know the laws and why and the reasons why. So you try to, one, separate them from that room if you can, and if you can't, you try to, after your arrest is made, then try to maybe explain a little bit to what's going on. They may understand, they may not, but it's an unfortunate thing that they had to see that. But you know, what's really unfortunate that they had to see mom and daddy fighting, and to the point that the police had to be called and intervene. But more likely, you know, we're seeing domestic violence situations. This has been going on for a long period of time. This is not the first incident if the police have been called. So that's obviously a volatile situation, and those parents have traumatized that child from having to witness domestic violence. So that brings up a whole nother issue that we can address on another show. Yes. Okay. That's a show within itself. Okay. About dealing with domestic violence and what goes on, and you know, why a lot of times one partner, you know, feels that they can't leave the situation. You know, they're kind of trapped, and so I think that's a whole nother show within itself. But right. I'd be glad to get into. But getting back to the kids, it's an unfortunate situation. These things do happen, but yeah, it may be traumatizing, but you know, they've already been traumatized by what has taken place prior to that in some of these domestic situations. I mean, the incident you're referring to, there was an arrest out in the yard, and somebody got arrested because this person committed the act of domestic violence at another location, then returned to another family member's house, and the adults and the children didn't know why this individual was going to jail. Well, it's because of what had taken place across town. So, you know, everybody was upset and whatever. But the bottom line is, you got to realize that, you know, if the police show up and the police say that the person's under arrest, they've already established the probable cause for the arrest. They don't have to debate it with you and explain everything to anybody, any bystanders, what's going on. That'll all be done in court. So if you think there's a problem with it, whatever, then you can make a complaint. But for the most part, in regards to the rest, it'll all be resolved in the court situation.
Okay.
But everybody's got their videos going. We got our videos going, so I just stress that if an officer is making arrests, do not interfere with that officer, because if you come up and become confrontational or even try to interfere physically with an arrest, you will be arrested also. So that's be interfering, and you now subject yourself to be placed in handcuffs and going to jail.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Chief. We're going to transition again. We're going to talk about CPA. We're going to lighten the mood up some. We know that you have some classes coming up, and so tell us more about when they are.
Yes, we have announced the dates for our fall session of our Citizen Police Academy class. It will begin on August the 30th, and it will conclude on November the 15th. Again, this is a 12-week program highlighting every aspect of policing in the police department, and the students will have a chance to see, what we do, how we do it, and why we do it during this 12-week course. And if anyone is interested, they can stop by and fill out an application. I'm not sure if our website is completely up and running just yet. We've had some website issues, but Sergeant Lyle Waterworth is our community outreach officer. You can email him at the police department or go by and fill out an application. And the class will be limited to about 28 participants. And kind of first come, first served. To participate in the program, you got to be 21 years of age, live or work in Craighead County, have no felony convictions, and no serious misdemeanor violations in the past 2 years. And you must be committed to completing 75% of the course.
Okay.
So we know everybody's got a busy life nowadays, but we ask that you try to make at least 75% of the classes that are set out there. Again, the schedules will come out and the topics each week to the participants involved. But we do like class. Everybody in class, we do like a diverse class, because you get some lively topics and conversations. And just like we are, there's things that pop up across the nation that we'd like to talk about. We'd like to bring up and get people's views and their takes on that situation. So the whole course is, yes, we're educating the public, but the public is also educating us. It's good to have a two-way conversation with each other. And my motto is, it's better to talk to each other instead of at each other. And this is a great learning process for everyone involved. So, great program. We have graduated over 200 people since we started this program less than 4 years ago. So we run the program twice a year, a fall session and a spring session. So again, our fall session starts on August the 30th and concludes on November 15th. Fill out your application at the Jonesboro Police Department.
All right. I think this would be a great thing for people to get involved in. Legacy can speak personally on the benefits of joining.
Well, and I guess we're in the segment with that. Well, I was in session 2 and it definitely provided a lot of information. I always bring up the example of, I got pulled over plenty of times in my life. So it actually got to see what's on the other side, the steps involved and what the officer does. And as Chief said, it does foster an opportunity for dialogue, and especially in light of the things that are going on throughout the country, because people may not understand what is going on, and that can lead to distrust of police, and they're not afraid to tackle that.
No, it's again, it's we want the tough topics. We want your concerns, and we know from the program, and there are people that started the program that just did not trust the police and really did not care for the police. But about that midway point, their attitude has changed, and that was the goal. And I have some of those people at the beginning are now our biggest advocates. So it's a great program, and give it a thought.
And you get fed most weeks.
True.
Maybe not every week, but most weeks definitely you will get fed. We're speaking with Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Mrs. Heather Bunkley-Allen Gonna go to our next break, but don't go anywhere. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. For better or for worse, your credit score is one of the most important numbers in your life. The Money Coach, Lynette Kalfani-Cox, shares 3 often overlooked ways to boost your credit score. If you are a renter, add your rental payment history to your credit reports. This can give a nice bump to your credit score. Try piggybacking, a technique where you get added onto the credit accounts of someone with a positive credit history. For example, if your spouse or a parent has good credit, you can get added as an authorized user on 1 or 2 of their credit cards. Get a secured credit card. With the secured card, you put a certain amount of money, like $500, on deposit with a bank, credit union, or other lender. The amount you put up becomes your credit limit. Then, if you charge on the card, you just pay it off on time each month, and that will boost your credit score. Just make sure that any secured card you open reports to all 3 major credit bureaus. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
KLEK is conducting a listener survey that will allow for you to give feedback on the station. The information from responses to the survey will allow us to make KLEK a better radio station for you. The survey is on our website, www.klekfm.org, or if you need a paper copy, you can call the station on our business line, 870-203-9915. We ask that as many listeners as possible fill out the survey so that we may have the best possible feedback to continue to educate, entertain, and empower you and be your radio station. As a token of our appreciation, one lucky person who completes the survey will win $102.50. You must submit your email on the survey in order to qualify to win. The winner will be drawn August 1st. Also, each week in July, a winner will be drawn to win his or her choice of a KLEK coffee mug or hat. Again, the KLEK Listener Survey is on our website, www.klekfm.org. KLEK thanks everyone for their support.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The Office of Diversity and Community Engagement at Arkansas State University, under the leadership of Dr. Maurice Gibson, is a proud supporter of KLEK and is dedicated to finding innovative ways to advance their mission of creating a diverse and inclusive environment, conducive to educating, enhancing, and enriching lives, uplifting various and diverse groups on the A-State campus, and striving to maintain Arkansas State University a place that is inclusive to all individuals regardless of origin, color, religion, socioeconomic status, or sexual orientation. More information about the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement is available at www.astate.edu/diversity and 870-972-3081.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us, you'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM with our guests, Jonesboro Police Chief Rick Elliott and Mrs. Heather Bunkley-Allen. And of course, you can leave your questions and your comments on our Facebook live feed or give us a call at 870-277-1080. So, Chief, we've got about a little under 3 minutes left. So, any final comments? And also for Mrs. Bunkley-Allen, any final thoughts or comments that you all would like to say?
Well, again, we're coming up in the month of August, and this time of year, several things start kicking off in the community. And we've got the back-to-school events taking place that you'll be posting out on the website. We've got Parker Park coming up, then there's one of them at Allen Park, I believe, planned. We have the Safe Rider Saturday coming up on August 11th. So school will be starting back before long, and we'll talk about school safety and that first day of school. The traffic's going to be bad, so leave early, be patient, take your time, be kind and considerate of others on the roadway because they're trying to get to school.
And tell people about not texting or being on their phone in the school, in the bus, and the pickup line.
Yes, stay off your device in the school zones because it is our goal to pick those people out, and we will write you a ticket. We will be cracking down on texting and in school zones this year.
We got to keep the babies safe.
Absolutely, our children are our number one priority, and we want to have them a safe environment to learn in.
And then stop texting at the stoplights, and the police see you; they know who you are.
Yep.
They will catch you. So that message, like you and the other officers said, that message can wait.
That's right. There's nothing that important on Facebook or anything else that you have to be distracted and doing, not focusing on your driving and then end up causing a wreck. We have way too many wrecks in this town, and again, most of them's due to distracted driving.
All right. And what message would you like to leave the people concerning the Safe Rider?
Oh, the Safe Rider Saturday. Yeah, we'd just love to see everyone that can make it come out. Ideally, bring your bikes and helmets and come out. And if you don't have those two things, still come out because there's a lot to learn. Okay. And we'd love to see you there.
All right. So we hope to see more people riding and more people safely riding their bikes and just engaging with one another. I want us to see the community come together. Not that we're not fairly close-knit, but I just want to see more closeness within the community. People getting to know their neighbors and fellowshipping and really looking out for each other, and we just take care of each other all the way around.
Absolutely.
I agree.
This is our community. We need to make the most of it and the best of it, and you're right. We need to take care of each other and look out for each other. And I think, for the most part, we do a pretty good job of that here in Jonesboro, and that's why Jonesboro has had the success that we've had. And, we've been ranked nationally on several different things in the past couple of years, and We are one of the top places in the country to live and one of the top places in the country to retire. Our industrial growth is outstanding. Our growth at the university is picked up. So there's a lot of great things going on in Jonesboro, but it takes you as an individual to do your part in making your city a great place. So do your job, get out, help, be mindful of others.
We gotta leave it there.
Listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Broadcasting from the First National Bank